Hello, Teresa here from the UK. I hope you're all keeping well, and I hope the weather's being kind to you wherever you are. Weather here is very, very hot at the moment. Kath, I like your idea, and I'm going to work on it for the next project. So thank you very much for that, and I think it's a brilliant idea. Now I'm going to make this quite a quick project by using things that I stash away, things that we all have probably in our workroom, in drawers, cupboards. I've gathered them all up again, bits and pieces, and I'm going to use those. So it's going to be fabric, it's also going to be cardboard, so it's really going to be multimedia. The cardboard, I've been collecting cake boxes and any boxes that have apertures, okay, so I'm going to be using those as well to make something that I think you'll all like or appreciate. Okay, so having said that, get your coffee, get your tea, and get cozy, okay, and we'll make a start. Well, the first thing to do is start collecting empty boxes or cards, anything that has this aperture on it, and they could be any shape. I've got nice rectangular ones here. This is a lovely one here. Oh, there. Any box or anything that has a nice cutout piece along there. We're going to try and use these, and these are, as you can see, it's really rubbish, and I've had other people saving these and giving them to me as well. So please don't think I've eaten all these cakes. I mean, goodness, I'd give it a good try, but I can honestly say, maybe apart from these are absolutely gorgeous. And if you can't get these wherever you are, I feel really sorry for you. But there's 6 in a box. Marshmallow. Perhaps I'll show you one if I get hold of one. But I'm frightened to buy them because they are just so moorish, and they're small enough to eat a couple straight off. So I'm avoiding those at the moment. But all the others, I've got some pizza boxes as well behind me. My stepson likes pizza, so he's been saving those for me. And even something like this, this salmon box, and this has actually got 2 cutouts there. Now I'm not sure which ones I'll be using at the moment, but I'm erring on the side of these very, very nice ones. So I'm going to make a start on these, and by making a start, all I'm going to do is prepare the boxes by cutting out or cutting around the apertures. Now I'm not going to actually show you how to do this. This is all very primary school stuff, but it's also very, very mindful. So I'm going to start with this one and just cut. I'm cutting these flaps off for the time being. I don't know if I might even need them, but hey ho, I have a lot of these boxes, so it doesn't matter. Now this is the bit I want, but I'm going to cut that there. Let's have a look just on this one. Now there we go. Now at this stage I can see I've got a back and front. Back there, sorry, front there and a back there. Or another way of doing this is actually to have these as pages. So I'll cover the whole of this, obviously leaving the aperture. Cover this, and then maybe decorate in here to put, have a look, something like a page in there. Oh, what do we think? Now, because if I put something in here, decorate this, decorate that, and then seal it in here, it might give us a problem along here, that what will be the spine here, when it comes to joining other boxes together. Yeah, so I think for the time being I'm going to decorate the whole of one side, the whole of this side, or one side. It doesn't matter which side. I mean, if I'm going to decorate it with fabric. I've made that up. I've sorted out some bits and pieces of fabric to use. Now these are very strong colours, so if I decide to use a nice piece of fabric but it's a little bit see-through, then I will just decorate it here. So that will be that way, and then worry about the inside later. First of all though, I'm going to jump in with 2 feet and make a start on this with the fabric, and just see. I haven't done this before with these, so just see where it takes us. Now the fabric I've sorted out for these, it's all lightweight. This is a little bit of stretch in it, but that doesn't matter. So as I said, it's all lightweight, and I've got some pieces here, and they're all bits and pieces. There's some more there, nice pieces there, all from my stash or the rag bag. They're all basically the same sort of fabric. Oh, that one's got a bit of stretch in there, so I have to be careful with the stretchy ones. This is a piece of fabric I'm going to start with. It's very, very pretty, very lightweight. I just want to see if we can see through it. Yes, can see through that. You see 2 egg custard tarts there through there. Now I'm not sure I want that showing, so what I'll do, I'm going to put the fabric over the back like so. The first thing I'm going to do is very, very carefully remove this window, and it's, ooh, that is really stuck on there. Well, ooh, to make the box airtight I imagine, but I'd like to keep these at the moment. I might not use them again, but just in case I do, I'd like to keep any pieces of fabric, any windows I take off. You can see that. I'm going to put to one side in case I need them again. Now I'm just going to take the lip off of here. Looks as if I've left that lip there. So just run that down there. Right, so that's, doesn't look very straight, but never mind. So I'm going to leave that like that, and then the next thing I'm going to do is put glue all over here. Now you can use a fine brush with just a little bit of PVA glue, or art glue, school art glue, the white stuff on here. You don't want to saturate it because then you risk it coming through to the fabric. So I'm just going to use an ordinary glue stick, and I just love these. These are just so good for so many things. So I'm going to cover this in the Pritt stick, or in the glue stick, like that, and then I'm going to stretch this over like so, just checking that I've left enough around the edges here. Yeah, I can see that, and here, and I'm going to just spread that out like this, pull it to get out any creases. Now with the stretchy ones, I'm going to have to be a bit careful not to overstretch it, just in case it all springs back after it's dried. Now I've got a little bit too much glue there, but that's no problem. Now on some of these pieces of fabric, I could do some stitchery before I put them down, before I glue them down, so that I've got choices and options to do. But I really want to save the stitchery for later on. I'd like just to get the cards, the pages done first. Right, now looking at the screen, that looks good enough. You can still see the window there, or the missing window. Now I'm just going to flip it over, just stretch it a bit out this way just to make sure it isn't tight, and that looks good. That looks good there as well. And then do it this way. Just going to cut off, trim the edges around. Only need a little bit, just width of an average finger. That should be alright. Now just make sure that it's stuck down nicely around this aperture here, and that feels good. Now I'm going to put some glue around the edge. Just catch the edge around here like that, and then turn these over. One there, one there. Okay, so fold it and pull it down tightly so you get a nice sharp edge. You see those two edges there, nice and sharp. Then just going to trim off these, just snip them from there to the corner, and then just fold these over. Right, so just flatten those, and here like that. Now don't get too hung up about how this looks at the moment, because this will be covered up. Just going to cut this bit off here, there, a little bit there. I think that one will be okay there. If not, I'll just do a little bit of a repair work on it. Right, so there we are. Now, once we're sure this is dry and it's nice and firm, we can cut this as well. Just going to start this off, or not. Oh, this is a rotten old blade. Oh, there it is. Right, and then put the scissors in, and I'm going to cut right to the corners like that. Done two there, to the corners there. Once again like that, and then a little bit more of this lovely glue around there, over there, there. And then I'm going to do exactly the same as I did here. Just bring this over, nice tight, sticking it down there like that. And that one as well over there. Right, now I'm just going to take off, I can see a little bit of excess glue there. Oh, actually I can pop it under there. Don't want any glue, excess glue on the surface here, because I want to flatten it and make sure it's nice and flat. So I'm just going to, oh actually that wasn't worth worrying about. I could see a little blob there, but I think it's the only one. Right, I'm going to turn it over here and flatten that there. Right, and there we have that. Now that one, after it's flattened, and I can see there's a little bit sticking out there which I don't like, so I'm just going to tiny bit of glue there and bring that up and over there, and there we have it. So that is the first page, like this. Okay, now I'm going to carry on and I'm going to do each one exactly the same as this. Not sure at the moment how many I'm going to do. I've got quite a stack here, as you know. So I think I'll just keep measuring them as I go along. Okay, but anyway, I'm going to carry on now, and I'll get back to you when I've done another couple and we can see how it's taking shape. So I've actually done a few more now. I've done 3 more. There's a one there, opens that way or whatever way I choose to. So that's a very pretty one. Now if you look at this, you can see some of the writing actually poking through there. I'm hoping that's not going to matter. I don't think it'll matter. But you can see they're delicious desserts. Yeah, so that's a bit of a shame. Never mind. That's that one. This one. Now while I'm doing this, I thought, hey, you know, these would make nice little photograph albums as well. I put in a photograph here. There's all sorts of things you could do with these. But I'm going to stick to my original plan. So that is that 1, 2, oh 3. I've got a third one here, but I haven't actually cut the aperture. I'll do that now. Cut the fabric. Right, let's do this. Ugh. Right, just made a little hole there, and I'm going to take it right down to the corner there. Right, so that didn't take long, did it? Now as I said, don't worry about all this scruffiness inside. Just make sure that is down nice. Let's turn that over. Oh, it looks like that's slipping off. There we go. There we go. Right. I think that's a nice one. Yeah, that looks a nice one. So that's another one. I now have 4. Oh, that doesn't look very straight, does it? I've now done quite a pile of these, and I'm just going to do a quick flip through just to show you how far I have got. Now, Now the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to start thinking about putting things behind the window. And just for the sake of argument, I have something here. Some of you might recognise it from our postcard challenge. So I need to put something behind there, and then this will be covered up with fabric again, so it's going to be quite substantial. And at the moment I think I'm going to cover this with more fabric. It might even be paper, I might even change my mind. So it's going to go somehow like this, and I'm only using this because it happens to be on the table. Let's have a just see what else we've got. Yeah, so are you getting the idea now? Oh, I'm sure you did anyway, where this is going. Okay. Yes, 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 yes. Oh, I'm just going to try this one and then I'll carry on. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, I'm just going to try that one as well, because actually I shall carry on trying them all, because this is quite an exciting thing to do. And I'll get back as soon as I've put some finished pieces behind these windows. Okay, I've sorted out lots of bits and pieces from the scrap bag and also from my treasured pieces. And when I say treasured, I mean the postcard from the postcard challenge, and I thought these would be ideal, but I can't use them for this, I just can't. So they're still being put away nicely and I'm going to display them. But anyway, the postcard gave me an idea. This is from Louise. Louise in Tasmania. See, Louise, I'm still looking at these things. So Louise made this one, but the size is just nice for some of the apertures. So I thought, well, I'm going off to find my postcards from the challenge. So I found some of mine. These are mine, and I'm going to use mine that I didn't send to anyone. Okay, so I put those on my pile of things to use. These I've just found in a drawer where things are made and just put into. I even found that my daughter did that many years ago, but I won't be using that. So I hope to use some of these, and even that little one, which was an experimental piece some time ago. So I'm going to use some experimental pieces, and even this, which hasn't been finished. So that is just 2 pieces of fabric with some slow stitch there, which I've yet to develop into anything. But I'm hoping that I might be able to develop it into this, because I have quite a lot of apertures to use. So I'm going to put that on the pile. I might sit and do some of that later. Now for the time being, I'm just going to show you now how I'm going to finish each card. This was yet another hotel project which I did over the weekend in Eastbourne. I was looking after my little granddaughter with my daughter and my daughter-in-law while my son did the triathlon. And my goodness, these people in this triathlon, they swim for 2.5 miles, they cycle for 112 miles, and then they do a marathon of 22.2, or is it 26.2, and it's all back to back. So we had a lot of time waiting for him to go through different places where we could cheer him on. We had a lot of time, we had a wonderful time, just the four girlies together, if you like. And that night my daughter-in-law went out to find him on the marathon, and she joined him because she's a marathon runner too. She joined him for the last 14 miles, just casually joined in for 14 miles. And so my daughter and I were left looking after my granddaughter while she was sleeping. So I tried to do some of this, and I finished it last night, and I'm quite pleased. My daughter had a pair of old jeans on her, and she wore them in the sea and totally ruined them and all sorts of things. And before she threw them away, she said, "Mum, do you want any of this?" So I said, "Oh, I'll have a leg." So she gave me part of the leg, and this is what I've used for the background. And as always, I had my thread with me anyway, and some sequin, a sequin piece, and I sat and did this. And as I said, I didn't do it all in one night, it was a couple of nights work. Did this with this in mind, although this wasn't with me, had to more or less guess. And oh hey ho, I just managed to get the right size. Just, it means I might be missing a few French knots around here, but the rest of the stitchery can be seen. And the stitchery is, it's a plique. That the flower here is a plique. It's a complete flower. I've appliqued it on, and then I've used chain stitch, 2 rows of chain stitch around the edge and around here, and there's a pinwheel in the middle with a French knot. Then we have single chain around here. Now the single chain is actually between the legs of blanket stitch. There's the green thread there, if you can just see it. I'm not sure what the light's like at the moment. It's very overcast outside, and it might be reflecting on that on the screen. This green thread here, all the way here, is blanket stitch, and in between each of the legs I've put a single yellow chain, and then dotted them, each of them, with a French knot. And as you can see, there's running stitch here, or slow stitch, all the way around, a little bit of slow stitch there between some, now what is that? That is blanket stitch again there. So very easy to do, nothing difficult about it whatsoever. Now I'm calling that finished. It only just goes on there. I did trim a little bit. Oh, this, is that it now? All I've trimmed is just a tiny bit. It's so small I can't even see it on the table. So I was lucky actually that it does actually go in there. Only just though. It only just. Now to finish this off, just make sure it's all down. I've actually pressed it. I've pressed all the way around here, and I've pressed in there to give that a nice round shape. And I press this on the background, on the back of this. Now I'm going to use, I want it that way, so I want that opening, and what is that, the right, I want the opening on my right here. I'm actually looking down on it, so I'm looking at it that way. That's what I can see, but I'll turn that round so on the screen you can see it the way I want it. Now I'm going to use some double-sided tape to secure this all the way around here. And I'm not going to be too worried about how neat it goes on. I just need there to be enough stickiness for the flower. Right, is that, oh, that bit's showing on the outside, so I'm taking that off. Oh, that's handy, it's come off like that in a piece, in a strip. So I've got to put some more around here, remove the backing. Ooh. There we go. So if you can see here, or maybe not, there's tape all the way round the edge of the circle. Some going that way and that way and that way. Just to make sure that is all secured around the edge of the circle. And then I'm going to try and marry this up somewhere. Now this is shaped, so I just want to see which way I'd like this up. Whether I want that in that corner. Oh, for goodness sake. Oh, I don't really need to analyse this so much, do I? Well, it looks quite nice there. Right, now I'm going to push that. I think the best thing to do is open that out and just very, very gently. You get a little bit of leverage with this. It isn't like hot glue where as soon as it touches it bombs. You do get a little bit of time for movement. There, got a little bit of sticky tape showing there, which I can deal with. Right, let's turn that over, flatten that out like that. Make sure that is nice and flat, and that is. Now that is, the front is finished. Can you see how that would make a nice card? A greetings card, just the front of it. I can't stand it up with this camera, but a nice greetings card once you've lined the inside. But that is the first one done here, the first front and back. Now I've got a couple of options as to how I line this. Now I thought of fabric at first, and I thought, well, no, not really, because you can't write on fabric. So I think I'm going to do some card and maybe others fabric. Now I have this lovely bundle of card here. It's not too thick. I'm not even sure where I bought this. Probably the big A. Probably. It's lovely. It's 100% recycled as well. And it's some beautiful colours. A4. Now I've already chosen purple, I think. Now the purple needs to go on there, just to give me a rough idea of, right, yes, so I will need to trim that all the way around, but what I'm going to do is trim that after it's glued. I think that will be easier. So what I shall do here is just mark it. I don't want the glue to extend. Doesn't matter with this little bit here. I don't want the glue to extend over here because it's just a waste of glue, and it'll end up being a waste of this, whereas I can put that away for something else. Now I can do this once again with, yeah, I think I'll do this once again with the double-sided. So we put that along there. Put this all the way around the 4 edges. So that's one. Right, so that now has the sticky side, the double tape all the way around the 4 edges, and to secure it even more, I'm going to put the glue on the inside here. I'm not going past that pencil line, which is here. I'm not sure if you can see that, but it is there. It's there. So I don't want to go past that. So we could do that there, all the way around, and then right across here. Now I don't want to leave any large areas of dry, because that will just make an air bubble underneath the card, and it could make a bit of a mess of the inside. Right, now I'm going to put this down edge to edge along, I'll tell you what I'll do at my end here, edge to edge along there, up there. Alright, and just before I stick it down, just have a look on the back. Alright, I need to bring that down a bit. Just ease that down, so you get a little bit of leverage with this as well. But if it had been hot glue, oh my goodness, it would have stuck by now. There, very gently. Now I want to make sure it's not too tight in the middle, so before I completely press it, I'm just going to fold it there, to make sure it all fits nice. And there we go. Now any bits like this, see the tiny little bit there, I can trim off later or tuck it under, so I'm not worried about anything like that, so don't you worry if you do it and you find that. And just like that, flatten that, and here. Now I'm just going to trim round there. Just all the way around the edge. And that way they both match. So there we have that now. That's the inside. Now once it's dry, I'll have a look at it again, and just, you see these, I'll either cut these off or just file them with a nail file here. I don't want to do, I'm doing it at the moment, but I really don't while it's tacky because it might tear, but hey look, I think I'll just, so I think I'll use a nail file all the way around the edge just to do that. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is leave it under something heavy just to flatten it. So I might sit on it for an hour. I can't think of anything heavier than that. Oh, by the way, my son did complete the triathlon, and I'm so very, very proud of him. But anyway, back to this. That's that one done then. Alright, now I'm going to continue and make all the others in the same way. So when I get back to you, hopefully the others will be looking something like this. And I'll probably get back after I've pressed them. Alright, but I will be doing them exactly the same way. The only difference is I might put some fabric in some, I'm not sure yet. Well, that didn't take long, did it? Now I'm just going to do a quick flip through. Well, I hope you enjoyed that little flip through. What I'm going to do now is just decorate some of the inside pages. Now I'm not actually going to call this embellishing either. I need to put some paper in here for writing, and it might be squared paper, it might be lightly patterned paper that can be written over, or just ordinary plain white paper, which is here somewhere. So that's the next thing I'm going to do to all of them. The reason I'm not going to embellish it with beads and appliques and all sorts of things is because these are going to be quite thick when they're all put together, and they're going to be quite thick in themselves, and I don't really want to take the emphasis off the front. It's the front part, the cake box part, and the embroidery underneath, which is the special thing about this journal, and of course it's made from rubbish. So I don't really want to start putting a lot of things on these to take the prettiness away from that, if that makes sense. I don't think I've explained that very well. So I will start doing this. I have a feeling that I might have to take some of these out. I think with them all it might just be a bit too thick, and I might take those out that are irregular in shape. And I hope you noticed the Christmas tree one. Found that lying around and I thought, hey, I know where that's going to go in that shape there. Look at that, perfect fit. But get back to the shapes. See this, all those are fairly regular in size, a little bit of differentiation going on there, but not much. But these are very, very big. You might recognise that, the postcard warriors. You might recognise this. That was Glenn's, and I think we all had a postcard with a dolphin and some stitches on there. That's the one he sent to me. Use that one. This one is too big as well. Now I thought this might make a nice cover, but I don't know if that's going to be. Oh well, now I've taken some out, it's still Jaws-esque. Oh yeah, I think that might work actually. So I think I might be okay using that as cover, which means I've taken 3 out, which is a shame, but these won't be wasted. I can do something else with them. So I'll set those over to one side. Now I'm just going to start the inside of the card, and I should take one at random. What have I got there? I'm going to take that one. I like this one. And there's no secrets to this. I've got a little booklet here, and this was £1 some time ago. It came from the works along the high street. 10 by 10 centimetres, 100 sheets. Not 100 sheets in there now, but that was great value for money. And I'm just going to put a piece here for writing. Something that, oh, they're all so lovely. You've got to hold a biro, you've got to be able, oh that's nice. So look at that one. Yes, I think you can write on that one, and I think I might have another one there. Or does it need one colour and maybe one plain? I just have a small notepad here. There it is, right. Something like that, maybe 2. A plain one and I don't know about the plain one actually. I like the colour one. They don't have to be central, do they? Could have them sort of like that. Right, so that's left me with a bit of dilemma, but I'm going to start with this one. I will put this in the centre just to start with, and this is all I'm going to do. So there's no need for me to show you doing all of them, because that's going to be pretty boring, very laborious. The old glue stick. Where are we on the screen? Just put that there. Let that dry. Now what I might do on some of these with the dodgy corners is actually put these corners, brass corners. Now if I put these on all of them, there's going to be trouble. You see these? There, you see it better there. There'll be a little bit of trouble trying to close it if they've all got these. But I might do just with those whose corners like this. You see this one? Look, I did trim it, and by trimming it I've actually frayed it a little bit. But anyway, I'll do that at the end. Meanwhile, I'm going to carry on with this. I actually found some of these. And I thought, wow. You know what I thought, because I like the old spangles. Look at this. So, but anyway, first of all, I'm just going to put the paper inside. As soon as I've done that, I'll get back and you can see how it's progressing. Now, each of these have been finished. They've all got corners on them. You see the brass corners here. And they've each got 4, 2 on the front and 2 on the back. Because when I actually looked at the corners, they all looked a bit raggy and a bit tatty. And I thought, oh, they're not going to take a lot of use. So, put the corners on them all. Now, they have also each got 2 pieces of paper in there. I don't think I'm going to decorate them anymore. Nice bits of writing. I think if I end up with this and to use it, I'd probably put some lined paper along there. This I think would be an ideas, some sort of ideas design type folder or journal, whatever, and that's there. So it would really be up to you, your choice, how you decorate the inside. You might actually want to decorate it further, put something like that in there, or a heart. I mean, I've really had to stop myself from doing this, but I really want to keep them plain just for the time being. Just to see which way they actually go. So no big surprises there. All got 2 pieces in them. That's very leery, isn't it? But I still think it's possible to write in black pen around here, or indeed put something else over it. So there we are. Now they're all done. The next thing to do is to look at the cover. Now, with that big one that I showed you, I have indeed turned this into the cover. Now, I folded it in the centre, and then I've folded it again. So there are 3 folds there, 1, 2 and 3. And that spine is big enough, it's wide enough to take all the cards, all the pieces of cake box. I don't know what to call them actually, to take them in there. I'm not sure whether they are signatures in their own right. I don't know what to call them. Anyway, you know what I mean. Now here I took a piece of fabric, all I had, out of the rag bag, stuck it down, glued it down with the old Pritt stick. Where are we there? And once again I've put the corners on the edge here. So that is now ready for the cards, and there are actually 10 cards. I'm just gonna 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of these inserts, cards, pages, signatures, whatever you want to call them. Now the next bit, I've put them in height order here. So I'm going to have the taller ones at the back and the shorter ones in the front. It's entirely up to you how you do this. So I want to find the centre of this, because I'd like them sort of central, and it looks as if it's about there. You see 2 flowers here, let's move that up, 2 flowers there, 2 flowers there, so I'm guessing it's round about there. I'm just going to put a little mark there. right there. So that's the center. Now here is the central line there, and that's the outside of the spine, and the other one here. So now I've got 3 lines there, and now I haven't done this before this way. I'm actually going to use some hot glue just to hold it in place. Now, right, I'm going to start at the front. I'd like this or this one in the front. I think I like that one in the front. I do like that one. Black work. So just round about there would be half. So I'm going to just run a little bit of glue, not too much, but more or less like tacking sticks along here. Just a little bit around here. And then I'm going to put it down there. Right. So hopefully just press it for a little while and make sure it bends. Yeah, it needs to bend. Got a little bit there that can come off later. So there we are. Now let's make sure that's held. Yeah, it looks as if that's held. Right, I'm going to do the same to the next one. Where are they? Where are they? On the chubby ones there. Right. Same to I think I'll do this one. Might mix them up a bit actually. Right, I'm actually going to put the glue down the side of the first one. Put that in, find the centre, that bit there, lovely. And I'm going to keep doing that until the 10 are in place. And the last one along there, and I'm just going to hold them into place now, just to give them time to dry. So I actually started this and forgot to put the camera on, but all I've done here is wrap some elastic once around here, so round the spine, down into the center of the first card, and I've tied it in a knot. There's a knot there, and then I've just carried the elastic on to the next card and the next, just by taking the elastic around the back. Let me see if I can get that in. Right, around the back, trying not to pull too hard or not to twist. And the good thing about using elastic is that it grows with the size of your paper. So we've done that one, so we need to move to this one. You could use ribbon. I've used ribbon before, but personally I think elastic is nice, because as I've just said, it does grow with your pages. You might want to put pockets on your pages, so if you put pockets on these, or envelopes, or anything a bit bulky, maybe like a thick tag, we're going to make these open a little bit. It's all going to splay a bit more, but having the elastic just enables it to grow a little bit. So round we go. Only a couple more to do, and I'm trying very hard not to stretch the elastic too much. I'd like it looking neat at the back, and it is at the moment. And with the last one, we'll treat it like the first one. So the last one, the elastic goes round down to the end, and I'm just going to tie a knot there in here. So that one might be a bit twisty depending on how I knot it. Yeah, it looks as if I've twisted it, but it doesn't matter. So there we go there. So they're knotted. Now we'll just straighten these up. here, then straighten these up here. You can probably get your little finger under there and just give them a little bit of a tug like that. That's that. And then the back can always cover this. I'm not going to cover mine because I quite like that look. Just snip that off there. Where's the first one? I just snip that one off there. Now at this point you can carry on and you can embellish yours as much as you want, but as I explained, I don't really want to do that to mine. Now if you wanted to cover up your spine, you'd only have to get a little piece of fabric, piece of felt, even, I'll take that off there, piece of felt, and cover it up like this. Put a few stitches down here and a few the other side, or glue it, and that would be your finished spine. It's just so easy. Okay, so you could have your finished spine like that. But as I said, I'm not going to do that. I just want to leave mine as it is. I might do something with it, but at the moment I should just have it looking like this. So this is now finished. I feel there's quite a lot missing because I haven't embellished or added too much to it. But let's just have a quick run through. Now some of the pages are tatty. I don't mind that because these are never meant to be perfect, are they? Let me move that, that's it. Now because I made the spine, I pulled this over to one side, so that isn't central, but it doesn't matter, who cares. Right, so here we go, inside cover. Now I'm aware there's a little bit of glue there that I will shave off, and this will just take a second. Now with the back pages, let me pull that a bit tighter. With the back pages, you can always clip something on it. You can paper clip paper on here if you wanted to, like so. You could clip the paper on there, right on that. Or you could, I did have something else here, you could attach maybe a picture or a card here as well. You could actually put this down the centre, right on that. There's no end of ways you can embellish this. I'll add an envelope. I've got envelopes here, should have an envelope somewhere. Can't find one. Oh, there's a little envelope. You could add a little envelope there, another clip here. So it's for you to pad out how you want to do yours. Okay, plenty of room. You've got a nice decorative back there. Enough for journaling, pictures, sketches. Now if you're going to do a lot of sketches, you might want to keep these plain. You can also write on this in a black pen or white pen. Silver looks nice. But this is mine finished. I love that, so I'm going to keep that as it is. Right, and just want to run through as well some of the stitches that's been used. They're all stitches that we've used before. Now I have some black work ones here. This is very easy to do as well. It's basically back stitch following a pattern or not. So this is black stitch or not running stitch, back stitch and cross stitch on Ada fabric, and I believe that's 12 points. We've got cross stitch on this one, cross stitch, and once again back stitch. So you know how to do those stitches. Once again we have back stitch here. No secrets. Here's one of our usual pieces of work that we do. That was one of the postcards. So on here there's applique, all sorts of applique going on here, lace applique here and some more there. There's beads, French knots, sequins, straight stitches here, the big brown stitches, straight stitches, single chain, slow stitch or running stitch, whichever you prefer. And I don't think there's anything, did I say cross stitch? And I don't think there's any secrets there. So what we've got, applique once again, feather stitch, straight stitch, running stitch or slow stitch, whichever you want. The term slow stitch is suddenly turning into all sorts of things. It's taken on a new meaning. So running stitch is good. Running stitch is good. And here we have back stitch, cross stitch and straight stitch. So no secrets there. These often look harder to do than they actually are. As long as you've got good glasses or good eyesight, they're a joy to do. Don't take too long either. Right, here we have blanket stitch around the edge, applique in the centre, beadwork here, running stitch, feather stitch, and chain stitch. Once again we have a collection of stitches here, mostly back stitch, straight stitch, two back stitches here, sorry, two cross stitches here. I think that's all. And the last one, last but not least, and I think I've shown you that one before earlier on, so I won't spend too much time. Just all those stitches I've just mentioned, all but back stitch. I just want to keep calling it back stitch in this one. So, and that is it. Now the tie is up to you. I'll probably put some more elastic around here when I get round to it. At the moment I'm not too worried about the tie because it needs pressing now, and I'm going to put this under something heavy, maybe for a couple of days, and then I'll think about doing the tie. But the time being I'm just going to put some elastic around it. Could be some string, I have some string there. I'm going to tie that and leave it for a while. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that. Really was working with a lot of old trash, wasn't it? From my guilty secret, all those cake boxes, to odds and ends remnants, bits and pieces, just quick and easy to do, and it was really good fun. So I'd like to thank you all for getting this far, and well done if you did get this far, because yeah, it's not easy, especially in this weather. So I'll see you on Facebook, or I'll see the YouTube comments. Okay, so all take care wherever you are, and have a nice summer in the UK. The weather's turning, and have a nice winter or autumn, spring if you're elsewhere in the world. Okay, so take care now. Bye bye.